Hello.
Hello. I don't have a slide to put up. Do you have a slide to share for the WSS? Because we're just on screen with our names.
Hello.
Hi,
Glad you can be here today.
an honor to join. I really appreciate it.
You're our guinea pig. You, you're you seem to be open to new things, so we thought a good time to try out our live stream option.
Very cool. Are you hearing background noise from me?
I am not.
Good deal. I had to do it at the airport because my internet's rocky at home, so I'm hoping it.
So you're in the airport?
Yeah, I'm at the airport.
Wow, that's resourceful.
I was racking my brain on what to do. We had a Montessori seminar a little while back, and I asked the general manager at the local Marriott, we've partnered, if he had anywhere I could do a meeting, and he gave me a guest room to do it in. And I thought I was all set. Great internet, quiet place. And then we got emergency evacuated
Oh my goodness.
during the Zoom, so that was fun.
When did that happen?
That was September 7th.
Okay. Because you haven't been impacted by the recent storms at all, have you?
No, it was a smoke alarm went off because of dust.
Oh,
They were doing some remodeling.
oh.
So you thought it would be good if I started off just talking a little bit about the backstory, is that right? And then move into the presentation?
Yeah. Yeah, the what we'll do here is we'll do some check-ins when, as people trickle in, and then I'll give a short spiel. I'll try not to be too long-winded, and then I'll introduce you. And typically, unless you state otherwise, we ask people to hold their questions until you're done, and then we open it up for discussion. That way, we can clip a really nice presentation to put on YouTube that's uninterrupted and flows well.
That sounds great to me. Would you be able to share in the chat the presentation afterwards in case anyone would like to check it out, or
Yeah, let me find it.
sorry to put that on you?
You sent it on LinkedIn, did you
Yes, ma'am.
not?
I did, yes.
Okay, let me see what I can do here. And I think I know where I put it. I sent it to another teammate just in case she was interested. Might be an easier place to find it.
I'm sorry to put this on you last minute, Julie.
Oh, no, it's easy enough to do. I'll put it in the chat now, and then when the time comes, I'll find it and repaste it. That way we'll have it there.
Incredible.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
That looks, it's that, right? The pitch.com, that's,
Yes, ma'am.
okay, wonderful. Thank you. Francois is here today. Francois is gonna, he writes beautiful songs, and he sings them a cappella for us. And so he offered us a song last week as part of check-ins, and we're hoping he'll do it again today because they're really beautiful and powerful.
That's incredible. I'm looking forward to that.
I see some new names and faces today. I see Jonathan and Lumont. Paul, I wonder if any of you would like to introduce yourselves. Please feel free, and I'd like to meet you.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Lamont.
Hi there. Sorry, I just was trying to see whether I'm on. Yeah, Lamont Kritzinger from Dublin, Ireland. Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you too. I had thought I saw something South Africa. Are you working in South Africa?
I am South African, but I'm living in Ireland. Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Hi, Julie. Welcome.
Hi everyone.
Hi, Paul.
Hi. This is Francois.
Oh, hello, Francois. I saw Paul waving.
I'm just having network issues. I'm still connecting my device very well.
I'll just give us a thumbs up when you're ready, and we'd love to hear your song.
Good morning from Ari.
Hi, Ari. Welcome.
Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you.
Well, Karen Beer's here as well. Nice group today. So glad everyone could join. John, our CEO, says hello in the chat. John Jones. Welcome, John. We hope you can stay for a good portion of this meeting, and we understand how busy you are. So we're grateful you can attend. Would anyone like to check in? Does anyone have any news or something they'd like to share briefly while people are logging in?
Actually, I would like to check in with Acapella. Oh, can I start?
Yes, please.
Okay. For the new people in the meeting, by names of Francois Bulambo.
Oh, what?
I'm a refugee. I live in Uganda. And I'm happy to be here today. I do music, and I'm by the stage name as Golden Frank. I'd like to share with you today the song, which is called Community. So this community is my composition. It talks about life of refugees, orphans, and widows. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi.
We can.
Okay, so, all right. So this song goes like this. My love has been in the journey, calamity, men in the sorrow. Keep my faith in your highness, you the one been in my keeper. Never knew that won't be a refugee orphan. We remain in the seat. Them like something to eat or food and water, shelter for the say. With the future, we are the change, pioneer of the change. All wanna guide our struggle, guide our struggle. With the future, we are the change, pioneer of the change. All wanna guide our struggle, guide our struggle. In the community, peace and joy in a community, hey. In a community, in a community. Hey. I know refugees from DRC, from Ukraine, from Lebanon, from Eritrea. They're like something. They don't have shelter. Children are dying. Many widows are in the streets. No one to save them, but it's me and you. It's my duty, it's your duty. It's your responsibility, it's my responsibility. Climate change is taking over the world. Every day, people are throwing dust in the wetlands. Every day, Human beings are cutting down trees in the equatorial forest. Now they're turning into savanna grasslands. The savanna grasslands are turning into deserts. Air pollution in the industrial areas. Lot of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. This is our planet. Let's save our community. We are the futures, we are the change. Lot of youth in the Africa, they don't have jobs. They have nothing to do because of corruption. The government keep on misusing funds. Who are we? We are in the community, we are the future. Many women don't have what to eat. They don't have what to feed on their children. In our community, our life has been in the journey. My life has been in the journey. But calamities change everything to be worse. Thanks so much. Hope they can share with you the link for my YouTube. You can listen for the whole recorded song. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Francois. It's an honor to have you here. It's an honor to have everyone here today. We welcome you to the World System Solutions Global Friday Global Solutions Collaboration Forum. I love the assortment of people we have here today because that's our goal. This climate crisis has it has to be solved collectively. It was created by the collective practices of humanity, and it can't be solved without collaboration of humanity. This is the founding principle of World System Solution, that conscious collaboration will lead us to a global solution for these crises and crises in the future. This meeting is designed to create a space for that kind of collaboration where people can share their perspectives and build networks. And hopefully everyone will come away with a little more than they brought into the meeting. That's our goal and our honest hope. We also have, I'm going to try to be quick because we have a speaker here today and I don't want to drone on and on. World Systems also offers the Empower Ed Climate Summits. Our next one is tomorrow. These happen quarterly, so if you haven't already registered, Tracy or if anybody here on the team has the link to put in the chat to register. If you haven't already done so, it's a free online event. We have some great speakers lined up, and the focus of that event is to redesign education to support the kinds of values shift and support empowerment of youth, women, and underrepresented groups and all people to co-create a sustainable future for themselves. In addition to the Empower Ed Climate Summits, we have the I think we have a new acronym for this. It was a Climate Emergency Response Forum. And if anyone knows the new acronym, I'd be grateful if they put it in the chat. These are community events that allow people to work together to develop solutions to issues in their community. And then hopefully all of these events can join together to form a network, and we're forming a global network. And eventually all of this gets funneled into the Phoenix World Transformation Platform. This is what World System Solution is designing to serve as a global utility, as a foundation for this conscious collaboration. So the platform itself isn't the collaboration, it's the people that are going to collaborate on the platform. And you can learn more about the Phoenix platform here on our website. Again, I'm kind of rushing through this. I don't want to take too long on this. Today's speaker is Amber Smith. Amber is the founder of Evolving in Education. She's got a very interesting story. She's one person making a difference in the world because she saw that she wanted things to be different in terms of educating her children. And has built up a community and a new way of doing it. So she's going to tell us a little bit about herself today, and I'll hand it over to her now.
Thank you, Julie, for that beautiful introduction. And I'd like to thank the entire World System Solutions team for the opportunity to speak today. It truly is an honor. So my name is Amber Smith, and I'm the founder and executive director of Evolving in Education. And we are a newly formed global 501c3 educational nonprofit dedicated to uplifting public education. Now, my journey into education in the nonprofit world was somewhat untraditional. I'm actually a homeschool dropout who got my GED and pursued diverse courses in a plethora of fields. And I ended up in underwater construction, demolition, and underwater bridge inspection. And then in 2019, I had twin daughters, Annie and Ellie, and they're my why for Evolving in Education. I quickly learned that the public education system wasn't equipping students with the resources and information and tools they need to thrive. And so I set out on a mission to help make public education enriching, so that in order for your children to receive a great education, you don't have to have exorbitant amounts of money or spend exorbitant amounts of money or just live in the right geographic location or have the capacity to homeschool them yourselves. So I learned a Montessori school, and I found out there's about 500 public Montessori schools in the United States. And I said, why can't we make that accessible to all children? And then quickly I learned of Forest School, Waldorf School, Reggio Emilia, all these different forms of holistic education that are truly transformative. So then I got the idea to combine the best practices from both the traditional education and holistic education and inform that with insights from neuroscience, psychology, mental health, mindfulness, fitness, nutrition, in pursuit of a comprehensive learning experience where children can thrive. So we started as a as a Facebook Messenger group, and then we grew to a public Facebook group, and then we became a 501c3 nonprofit in June of last year. We currently have 930 members in our public Facebook group, and we have a following across social media of upwards of 14,000 people. Through meta ads, we've reached millions of people with a positive message, and we're really inspired. We've formed a wonderful team. We're very grateful for a global team. And so I will go ahead and share my screen and give you guys a brief presentation. Are you guys able to see this?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, so I start off with a little quote. I was on X the other day and I ran across this quote and I wanted to use it. So the path to a sustainable future requires collective effort and a shift in mindset. We must recognize that our well-being is intrinsically linked to the health of our planet. Let's value nature not just as a resource, but as a partner in our survival for environmental sustainability. That is Tangwa Abdulu. Empowering education for a brighter future. So Evolving in Education's mission is to revolutionize public education by empowering teachers, students, families, and communities to create a holistic culture of learning that fosters critical thinking, creativity, communication, collaboration, and cognitive balance. We aim to provide innovative solutions which address the challenges and opportunities of the 21st century. So here's our core team, some of which are here today. Me and Hoda, our COO and our head of flourishing, Karanbir Singh, our chief learning officer, chairperson and director of learning intelligence, Miranda Vincent. She's one of our board of directors and our head of marketing, and our very own head of neuroscience, Dr. Liraz, as well as Asama Khan, the director and chief legal advisor. Now here's a short video. I think it's about 2 minutes. I'd like to play for you guys. Let me know if there's any trouble with the audio, please.
Have you ever wondered whether the traditional education system is adequately preparing our young minds for the future? A future that's evolving at an unprecedented speed. A future that's uncertain, complex and challenging, yet brimming with exciting opportunities. Picture EIE, an organization that was born out of this very concern. EIE stands for Evolving in Education, and it's not just an acronym, it's a vision, a mission, and a firm belief. Imagine a story of a young child named Alex. Alex, like every other child, is full of curiosity, creativity, and potential. Traditional education, however, sees Alex as just another student. They feed him facts, they test his memory, and they judge his worth based on his grades. EIE, on the other hand, sees Alex differently. They see his potential, his creativity, and his unique talents. They don't just want to teach him facts. They want to nurture his curiosity, foster his creativity, and empower him to realize his full potential. In the EIE story, Alex isn't just a passive recipient of information. He's an active participant in his own learning journey. He isn't just memorizing facts for a test. He's solving real-world problems. He's collaborating with his peers, and he's communicating his ideas with confidence. The story doesn't end with Alex. It extends to his teachers too. In the EIE vision, teachers aren't just instructors. They're mentors, guides, and facilitators. They're not just delivering a curriculum. They're nurturing a learning environment that fosters creativity, critical thinking, and collaboration. Now, imagine a world where every child is like Alex, a world where every teacher is an EIE mentor, a world where education isn't just about passing exams, but about nurturing young minds to thrive in a rapidly changing world. This is the vision of EIE. It's a vision of an education system that's innovative, empowering, and future-oriented. It's a vision that recognizes the inherent potential in every child and every teacher. So, dear educators, the call to action is clear. The future of education is here, and it's time to embrace it. It's time to reimagine education, not just as a means to a job, but as a means to empower our future generations. It's time to transform the way we teach, learn, and inspire. Because when we do, we're not just preparing our students for the jobs of tomorrow, we're preparing them for a future that's brighter, better, and more promising. So let's embrace innovation, let's reimagine education, and let's make the EIE vision a reality.
Right. And now here is our pilot project, which we are aiming to launch in a kindergarten through 6th grade class of public school. This will be phase 1 in K through 6, and then we will move on to phase 2, which will extend from 7th through 12th grade. So the pilot project has 3 key pillars: our educator enrichment, which is to help shift the role of teachers to that of facilitators, helping to guide the students on their learning journey. We offer skills, knowledge, and approaches to enable a holistic, effective learning environment that supports students' development. Second pillar is our family and community outreach, inform and involve families and communities in the innovative curriculum used in classroom to build a culture of learning beyond school. That's to engage families and communities in the learning. Then our open access online platform where anyone, anywhere in the world with an internet connection can log on and have access to some of the most enriching educational materials in the world, be them students, teachers, or even family members, community members, which is mapped to grade, age, competencies, interests, and accessibility-based curriculum, and transition from synchronous to asynchronous learning to collaborative learning. Here's a schematic of our pilot. Educator enrichment, professional development, resources and support, help foster community collaboration, and to help lighten the teacher's workload and streamlined processes. Our community and family outreach, engaging families in community involvement, enabling parents to engage in their students' education and to help support learning environments. And then our open access platform for personalized learning and teamwork and collaboration, tailored experiences for every learner to ensure success, driving collective success and growth. Here are some of our measurable results from 2023 to 2024. We hosted upwards of 30 focus groups with over 100 educators worldwide. We approved over 100 scholarships and delivered 3 expert-led Montessori seminars. We had Dr. Jane Nelson, a positive discipline expert. She was at our last, and Simone Davies, she presented at the one before that. It's really transformative seminars. We've helped over 150 students through educator shared resources, built 5 partnerships, and participated in the North Alabama State Fair. We were given a free booth to engage with the community and share our mission. We really appreciate that. And turns out we won $150 because we won first place at the state fair. So that was very exciting. We've raised over $5,000 towards our $50,000 pilot project budget. and $100,000 in-kind donations. We have started the planning for our learning management system, LMS, and our knowledge management system, the KMS, as well as the mental health initiatives we will be putting into practice. And we've hosted 3 mental health awareness events. Some of our goals for 2025 include expanding our partnerships and our expert panel, meeting our fundraising goals, developing the learning management system, and launching the pilot program. We will build a comprehensive outreach strategy, which we're currently working on, establish mentorship program for teachers and as well as students, strengthening community engagement, creating technology partnerships, improving professional development opportunities for educators. And we are very proud of our diverse team, and we seek to foster more diversity and a robust board of directors and team, develop research-based programs, and implement sustainability practices. Some of our collaborators with Evolving in Education are the School of Humanity and their Human Flourishing curriculum, 3R Educational Solutions, with a focus on social emotional learning, teacher training through a trauma-informed lens. We're working with Richard Fransham, advocating for social justice and self-determination. Richard Fransham, he's a powerhouse in the movement. If you haven't heard of him, I implore you to look him up. We're also working with Evolving Education and the Learning Expedition. That's a 3-month online experiential teacher training program. They travel the world in search of the most innovative learning spaces, and they share that through the Learning Expedition. I actually embarked on the Learning Expedition and graduated it this spring, so that was a really wonderful experience. We're also working with Little Neurons. That's our head neuroscientist company. They're helping children reach their fullest developmental potential by simplifying scientific research. Safan Zavahar, he has formed the right-centric education movement, which we are now founding members of. We're also working with Lead Kid Academy with their Montessori at Home movement. It's about 1 million members in that. Arrow and Education Revolution, and of course, World System Solutions with all the beautiful things they're working on, including Phoenix. Here's some of our partners and sponsors. We're really proud of the support we've gotten both locally and globally. Got support from Walmart, Bank Independent, Marriott, the YMCA, Google, just to name a few. So just can't express how grateful we are for all of our partners and sponsors. So I invite you all to join us to transform public education. You can get involved, partner with us, volunteer, advocate, support our mission, help fund innovative programs and resources. I invite you to stay connected and follow us on social media. We have just about every social media account available through EIE. Join our focus groups, educators, parents, and experts shaping solutions, and contact us at admin@evolvingineducation.org. Here are some QR codes if you'd like to check out our Instagram, our website, or our public Facebook group. We also have a Facebook page. It's just Evolving in Education. Here's our, I believe that's Twitter handle or X, I'm not 100% sure. And I would like to leave us with a quote today. The future is not something we passively enter into. It is something we actively create. And that is it for my presentation. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to listen. And now I invite any questions or comments, suggestions, and feedback.
Wow. Thank you. This is just, it's just amazing that, I loved, personally, I know you shared your story that, you didn't go through traditional education yourself, a self-proclaimed, dropout, I think you said, and just how one person has developed something so comprehensive. Yeah, are there any questions before
I would just like to share one thing really quick, Julie. I did not do this alone. We would be nowhere if it wasn't for the incredible team we have. So, but I really appreciate it. I'm happy for any questions or comments.
Hello.
Greetings from
Hello.
Cameroon. Yes, I am Don Jonathan, a teacher trainee. After going through the introduction and the presentation, I was actually killed by some of these words that you say. Educators to focus on teaching learners, not to pass tests or not to pass a test or not for exam purposes, but for a better future. I mean, this is making the whole stuff looking more inclusive and also preparing a future generation, because education is not just about going to write exams, trying to pass a test, but it's about preparing the learners of today to have a better future.
I agree.
So I was particularly solely with that, given that I am also in the field of teaching and learning, because it's a process and you can never get over or under it. Thank you very much for the presentation, and I don't know if there's a possibility that you could maybe share the PowerPoint presentation.
Yes, absolutely. We will share the presentation in the chat, and I apologize. I had a little bit of hard time understanding, and my volume is not working too well, but I think you said that we should kind of shift the focus from teachers teaching to that of, the learning process, and how that all this focus on standardized testing isn't, that's what I gathered from it, how we shouldn't put so much emphasis on teaching to tests and teaching, but to emphasize sort of foster a love of learning. Is that correct what you had said?
Yes, that is exactly a summary of what I said.
Yes. And I failed to sort of put that in the presentation, sort of the challenges in education and what the changes we seek to make. But that's very much it, is to take the emphasis off of teachers having to instill the knowledge in the students, like the sage on the stage, and have them transfer into the role of the facilitator to help to guide students on their learning journey, give them all the support they need to pursue what they love. So that's very much at the forefront of what we're doing, is to shift to more learner-centered education, where students are able to take ownership in their education and pursue the things that they enjoy, as opposed to just making them regurgitate information
Hello,
on
everyone.
tests. Hello.
Hello. Hello,
Hello.
everyone. My name is Balde.
Greetings, Balde.
That may have been accidental.
I think maybe he or muted himself accidentally while he was talking.
I'm not sure.
I apologize, y'all. I'm just catching up with the chat.
Yeah, there's a lot here. And there were so many questions I had as I was watching your presentation. You talked about your wanting to launch the pilot program, and so that would be working within a school district. And what has been the response? Have you gone to your local school district, and are you making headway with launching that?
We're actually focused right now on raising our budget and developing our programs. I've talked to several different connections I have here locally with our school district. We got some meetings in the works, but we have our target school, we have that selected. And I have a lot of connections there, but I'm hesitant to actually go to the school until we're able to actually tell them, this is what we have, this is what we want to do, as opposed to just going and saying, this is what we hope to do. I'd like to go there with with our program ready to roll out, and implement it and to customize it to their needs, of course. I hope, I'm not sure if I answered that comprehensively, Julia, I apologize.
So if you had a magic wand and if you could have your next needs met, what are those needs currently in this moment? What would help you to get this done?
Well, I would say to reach our fundraising goals, our budget is 50,000, as well as to develop our learning management system. We're currently in the process of getting a new CTO. However, we recently got a business mentoring grant from Dr. Heidi, which is extremely exciting. And so they're going to help us with all of the things that we need to get rolling, hopefully, including the learning management system, as well as, collaborating with our expert panel and teachers globally to inform, what we're working on, our curriculum plan and learning approach framework. So the magic wand, I guess, would be just to put it into action, I guess, to roll out the LMS and the open access platform and have that available to where we could give it to the schools. And Karanbir's here as well. He's our chairperson and director of learning intelligence. And I invite him, of course, to, if he has anything he'd like to add to help answer the questions, because he wrote our curriculum plan and learning approach framework. So he's a little more knowledgeable about where we are with that.
Thanks, Amber. I think you've got it covered. If anybody has any particular questions, I'll help out with that, or I'll take that on.
Thank you, Karanbir.
Could I maybe ask a question, Amber? That was great. Lamont Kritzinger from Dublin in Ireland. Yeah, there's certainly a lot there. My first impressions are it's quite a broad field, and it's very broad. There's a lot in it, and yeah, so it's quite a big project. The one question I have just around learning approach from a global perspective is whether have you considered, or do you have an approach or thinking around sort of global learning for the youth in terms of diverse thinking and cultural tolerance, and I just think of, I mean, we all went to school, right, and we sort of grew up in our communities and we influenced by those in our class and in our school and community broadly, but the world's massive around that and further from that, and there's a lot of rich learnings there, and it's only actually once you get older, generally, you're more exposed to that in the workplace or in university or traveling, so I was just wondering, is there any thinking and thought around exposing the youth to their peers globally in some way to learn and enrich their learning and their experiences and their tolerance for difference and diversity and that sort of thing? So I'm not sure if I'm clear in my question, but I'm just wondering how broad you've gone in terms of your exposure to outside of your community, outside of your country, sort of thinking and exposure.
Absolutely. We're very much thinking on a global scale because we are a global movement. And that's the first thing I found out when I started this endeavor is that, the problem with education isn't just local, it's not just national, it's very much global. So if it's all right with you, I'll defer to Karanbir on this because he has, like I said, he wrote the whole curriculum plan and learning approach framework, and we've incorporated a lot of global strategies in there. Karanbir, would you like to touch on that for Ludmont?
Sure. Thanks, Lamont, for chiming in. I mean, you've got it nailed. It is a global issue, and we're actually our model is based on collaboration and engagement. So it's not just the teacher-student interaction that we'll be addressing. It's also how to involve family and community, how to engage parents or the guardians and the community members, and creating a holistic learning environment. we are, of course, collaborating with approaches that are, successful, evidence-based and successful already. So, and these are methodologies that are being used across the globe. So whether it's, something like what European countries are doing, or, how we're looking at the shift in different countries, how they're adapting to changes that we think are required and necessary. We'll be looking at the standards of and the learning objectives that are prescribed in not just every state that we're working in, but of course globally as well. So our curriculum will be mapping to the prescribed curriculums in public schools across the world as well. In terms of just our approach, uh, we have since we're promoting self-direction and adaptive approach, we're also bringing that into our own approach into our programs as well. So we're not just working with blended learning, we're also enhancing our programs through artificial intelligence and intelligent use of artificial intelligence as a tool. We're bringing in project-based learning, service learning, uh, technology-enhanced learning, and culturally responsive uh, learning and teaching as well. We're also considering mindfulness and well-being as an important aspect of education, physical fitness and nutrition, uh, supporting individual learning styles as well. And we're integrating all of this into our approach with which we've designed our learning program.
Absolutely. And
I hope
also, oh, yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you, Ranveer. Also, with the advent of EdTech and the internet, it really builds a bridge globally for virtual classrooms, interactive whiteboards, all that, where students from different countries can work together on projects, collaborate, and learn from each other. So very much with the culturally responsive and global learning, we're all for that. And thank you for the great
Great.
question, Yvonne.
Very good. Well done. Thanks.
I think, Amber, you bring up a really important issue, and that's technology and the technology that's available right now. It is perhaps the most powerful tool humanity has ever created. And, with what is it, the Spider-Man quote, with great power comes great responsibility. How we apply that tool, applying it carefully and consciously and with the best human intentions is critical in this moment because it has such tremendous potential. And I think a lot of people see this potential and want to back away from it and label it as bad or dangerous. And it's really important that we carefully utilize this tool because it can do wonderful things, and just focus on it carefully. That's I'll get off my soapbox now. Oh, I see a question from John, I think.
Thank you first, Amber. This is a brilliant presentation, and I understand from the folks from your organization the depth and insight and understanding and brilliance that is guiding your developmental path and process and paradigm. And this is a question for the future. This is not an expectation of your organization. I just want to ask it into the space for conversation, and especially from to elicit responses from your organization, if you folks are open to it. In our understanding as an organization, WSS, the capacity for humanity to reorganize into a sustainable functional fabric that generates sustainability, renewal, regeneration, and reharmonization with nature is is a necessary developmental paradigm and through collaboration. So my question is, do you feel that the educational system, its systems of the world can be designed, refined, evolved, and developed in ways that would generate that capacity to functionally, transformationally reorganize, kind of caterpillar into butterfly, if you will, comprehensively?
Absolutely. And that's a great question, John. I believe, like Nelson Mandela put it, education is the most powerful weapon to change the world. So I 100% believe that through collaboration and, sort of revolutionizing the way we teach and learn, we can make generational change. I don't think it would happen overnight, but I think education absolutely has the potential to help create a more sustainable, united world. I hope I answered that correctly. I don't have the best attention span, but and I invite if Karanvir would like to touch on that as well, I invite you to, Karanvir, of course, and let me know if I didn't answer that comprehensively enough, John.
You answered it wonderfully, and I appreciate that. And that said, and this is part of the challenge. Does it make sense that the memory and the cognitive capacity of any particular individual is limited, and their learning cycles are out of phase with everyone else's in the world? So that renders them currently unable to organize at necessary scale and in the directions that are optimal for the solutions to be generated and delivered and curated for the long term. So my question is, are you developing technology that would augment and support specifically that limited cognitive capacity of individuals, giving them certainly education and learning along the way, and then fostering their collective organized learning, collective learning rather than individual learning?
Okay, well, that's another great question, and we're all about collective learning. And as far as the technology goes with that, that I believe there people are already working, and we're also working on like knowledge management systems, and technology has given us the ability to have like a second brain, through a computer or phone or whatever. Another thing I wanted to tell you guys really quickly is that, I believe that everyone is capable of extraordinary things. Some of us, who don't have the bandwidth to focus or pay attention or even learn, that can be worked on, through mindfulness practice. It increases purification in the brain, which is, the cortical folding tightly coupled with focus and attention, as well as nutrition. Nutrition plays a critical role in cognitive function. Our gut and our brain are tightly connected. So it's hard to pay attention if you don't have the right nutrients. So I'd say there's a lot of different things we can work on, including, the right and left brain connection to try to bridge the right and left brain. I know Julie, not World Systems Solutions, Julie, but my other friend, Julie, she has a nonprofit, and she actually works with students who, who don't have those abilities, and she can help strengthen those through, like, I think it's a blend of cognitive behavioral therapy and all these different, I'll let Julie tell you guys about it some, but to help bridge the right and the left brain. But absolutely, we intend to help people process information, store information, and understand information better through technology, as well as help increase cognitive function through both mindfulness practice and, like I said, nutrition. There's actually quite a few things that we're not using today in education that are resources that we're all born with, and we have the ability, to develop that. That's one of the things we hope to start implementing into public education, is helping people engage their inner superhero, because I think we're all born superheroes and have unlimited potential. But I hope that answered your question, John. I know that was a bit rambly.
Wonderful.
I can add to that. Hi, John. I can also add to that a little bit. The fact that you bring out the disconnection between all of us is very relevant, and that's one of the reasons we've actually integrated the concept of managing dissonance within our environments as part fundamental part of our learning. And it is, we are trying to make sure that it's purpose-driven and community-based. So it's not just promoting autonomy, but it also promotes collaboration. And through that, we hope to achieve what we consider holistic satisfaction in through education as well.
Thank you. That's wonderful. And I just want to ensure I understand the definition of your words, holistic satisfaction, meaning holistic satisfaction within the individual, within families, within communities, within nations.
Correct.
Wonderful. Fantastic. That is so helpful and appreciated. We would refer to that as a kind of collective murmuration, if those words make sense. Like a
Yes,
flock of birds or good. So that capacity to murmurate with nature is something that we feel is beneficially educated, re-evolved since we've lost much of it seems, and augmented and supported by a technology.
So I think it's natural instinct, but we've lost the capacity to reach into that instinct because of the dissonance that we're constantly struggling with. So once we have, or once we teach ourselves or learn to manage the dissonance that we're all facing individually as well as a community and as a united people, we should be able to break that disconnection and find that murmuration and that resonance amongst each other.
Thank you. Beautifully said and appreciated. And please, folks, continue.
I think Richard had put a question in the chat at some point.
Yes, I think I see that Tracy wanted to say something before I did. I couldn't find where to raise my hand. Maybe that's on purpose. I don't know.
You're welcome to go first, Richard. I can save mine.
Okay, thank you. I put in a couple of links in chat. The first one was prompted by what Lumond was asking about. And so youth involvement, worldwide collaboration. The Learning Planet Institute is associated with UNESCO. And UNESCO had a report that it put out last year. Its main aim to catalyze the global debate around a new social contract for education. And so it's the Learning Planet Institute is doing that. It has an annual festival that is really worth looking into. And I would say that both the world systems solutions and evolving in education, it would be helpful if you were doing presentations at that. I could follow up more about that later, but that would be helping to get our messages out to influential policymakers. And so that's what the Learning Planet is doing, very much a collaborative affair. You can look at their Learning Planet Alliance partners, and they have a huge number of partners that are adding to this as well. So that global conversation is really growing, and this is one example of it right here. Specifically to Lamond's point, the Learning Planet Festival has an annual, this will be the second year for it, but it intends to keep doing this, Learning Planet Youth Design Challenge, where they invite youth to present a vision of what they would like to see in education, maybe a project, a new way of doing things. And so I encourage people to think of youth that have something to contribute and would like to do it in that way, help that whole idea of the challenge get off the ground as a way of inviting youth into the process, which the Learning Planet Institute is very much trying to do. The second link there, the Two Loops model video, I've been in touch with Amber, and Kernberg, and others in evolving education. I really like what they're doing because they fit right into one aspect of this two loops model video from my perspective. And the two loops model video, it just so nicely contains within about 15 minutes everything that it took me hours upon hours to discover working through Thomas Kuhn's work on paradigm shifts. And so it's right there, so easily visualized. And we're at the stage now of all these diverse groups working too much in their own silos. Our numbers are massive. If we can just move to the next step, the next stage of the paradigm shift, which is establishing our culture of practice. And I propose that's that culture of practice, that common something that unites us is human rights, which is essentially democracy as well. And the particular group I'm working with is focusing on pulling education into alignment with the evolution of human rights, where I see Amber's group fitting in here is that we need a lot of hospicing, which in the Two Loops model video is defined as helping the old regime die with dignity. All of the people who are good people running the current system need to be helped to give up what they've been doing, let that die, pick up a new approach to things. And so evolving in education to me is really helping us to envision how we go about a hospicing process. It's one of the ways of doing it. Just a quick comment on world system solutions and technology in education. There are visions of global learning ecosystems that are being developed. Education cities by Yakovich is one of those, and we need technology to really make that happen, to move education into the supersonic age of learning, and we need the kind of technology that I would say is being explored at this point. From what I've learned of the world system solutions, I would say that that's early stages of what technology is really going to end up being as far as creating a global learning community is concerned. So really pleased to see that. So both initiatives here, world system solutions and evolving in education, to me, very encouraging. Thank you for that.
Thanks, Richard. I just have to double down on everything you said. It's all so important and so valuable. And we are hoping that the Phoenix platform, it's really important that to us that people recognize that we're not saying we have a solution. We're saying that we need to have a pot large enough and capable of holding everything that people put in. And we're hoping that we can offer the beginnings of that pot. Like, here's a good start. And let's work together to make this thing function. Tracy, did you get to ask your question?
No, I have a lot, and if I can go into some of it now, if that's a good time. It's just, yeah, this is really awesome. I'm glad this group is here, and I guess my angle is really curious about the LLM. I think that, and I would love it if you could just explain more about that, because I don't know if everyone knows what that means, like, and then maybe I could continue after that.
Of course, no, the LLM, are you referring to the LMS, Learning Management System?
Well, I think I'm referring to both. Is there just one, or is it just LMS?
We had discussed the KMS, which is a knowledge management system,
Yeah,
and LMS, which is a learning management system.
yeah, both of those I'm interested in what those
So
are.
I'm not extremely familiar with the knowledge management system, except that, you know, that's where like all the information would go. I'd say could even be something like the Phoenix. I'd say Phoenix probably is a form of knowledge management system, but I will touch on the learning management system because I told you guys about the learning expedition with evolving education. I did that through an LMS, and the learning management system is where you log on and there's, you know, there's videos, there's text, resources, and it's a program that people create. So I'll tell you about the one I'm familiar with, the one with evolving education. It was through Think IFC, and I did the whole thing on my phone. I'm sure most people do it on their computer, but I did it on my phone. So I just log in and start the lesson, and you could see your progress. It has, you know, your 0% and all the way through 100%. So you could watch your progress. What I would do is it was mostly videos. So just watch a short video, and they interview teachers from all around the world. And they'd share their insights. So watch the video, and then you click through, and there's a bit of text. Even there's downloads you could download, and you watch your progress go up, which was fun for me. You know, I watched 5 videos a night and go up to 20% or something like that. And I know when I finished the training through the LMS, the learning management system, I picked up my phone and I'm like, well, what am I going to do now? I don't have, you know, I don't have that awesome LMS to go do. Now I'm back to scrolling Facebook. So I guess the learning management system is just a place for information to be stored and shared and sort of digested. It's also a possibility of, you know, a lot of people use an app as opposed to a learning management system. And I will also like to defer to Krenberg if he has any further insights on it, because my experience with technology is rather limited.
Thanks, Amber. So, in the context of evolving in education, the learning management system we're looking at is a platform not just for tracking and reporting of performance, assessing performance, but it's also a platform where we can create an adaptive, a self-directed approach, personalized approach for each learner. So we want or we're working towards building a customized learning management system, which will also integrate AI as a tool in it, because the resources that we're gathering are very large. That's where the knowledge management system comes in as well. It's basically, even a Google Drive would be a knowledge management system where we could have a folder structure. So the more data that we have, the more information, the more resources that we have, the more efficient our knowledge management system would need to be, and in connecting to our learning management system as well, so that when we personalize learning for an educator or for a parent or for a community member, we'd be able to map the resources that would help that particular learner. And so, yeah, of course, if you have any follow-up questions
Yeah,
on
I
that,
do. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just curious where you're getting, or where you envision getting all of the information that's being stored on the learning management system. Or the
so this, I think Amber can take on as well.
Well,
so we have a large community of volunteers and experts already, and we're basically coordinating to work with them to fulfill our mapping and resource requirement for our curriculum.
yes, and our expert panel, as well as, you know, we seek to stand on the shoulders of giants. So we don't want to reinvent the wheel. We want to take all the information, wisdom that is in the world and sort of refine it, make it easily digestible, fun to digest, and to improve upon it. We seek to, like, with our partners, to uphold the excellence of their programs while, let's say, further informing with, every resource available, neuroscience, psychology. And just like I said, I'm a big advocate of standing on the shoulders of giants. So we can't do it alone. I know that.
Awesome. Yeah, and that's why we're here. I think there's so many brilliant and wonderful people in this field that are working on these things, and you've already gathered a great partnership model. So I think that part of World System Solutions, what I've learned here is that sustained collaboration is really important. So just like this meeting, like if anyone from this meeting who is in this field wants to, keep going with this energy of finding where we all link up on a real level to further the missions, then like I invite or encourage like creating, weekly or monthly meetings just to check in about the specific subject, like how can we further this together. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about or ask about was the last part you said about the platform, where it was like the third thing on the 1, 2, 3. I don't know what.
The open access platform.
Yeah, I'd love to know about that, like when you think it might be available, or is it just a concept right now, or is it something anyone could access?
We're still in the planning and developing phase. Like I said, we got that business mentoring grant, and they have experience with LMS and all that computer science, so they're going to help with it. But again, I invite Karanvir. He's our design thinking genius.
So this is again, yeah, it's a work in progress. And as we develop each module and each lesson from the modules, we will be sharing them through online sessions, through Volume Education as well. And as our resources build up, we will be making them available. So as of right now, we're our main goal is to have a platform to put our programs on that is easily accessible by schools, no matter where they are. And so, even though we may be focused on our pilot, we do want to consider how to scale it as well. So we would want to use technology that doesn't increase the burden on the schools and the teachers that we're working with.
Yeah, we very much seek to lighten the teacher's workload, and in the realm of learner-centered education, like I said before, the role of the teacher shifts to that of a facilitator. And when children are able to, seek knowledge as opposed to have to be taught, that really does help everyone, I would say. It helps the teachers, it helps the students, even helps the communities.
I'm just pausing to allow time for, I see Roger has his hand up as well. Go ahead, Roger.
Thank you so much. Let me hope you can all hear me. I'm Rogers, and it's a pleasure to really be able to also participate to this beautiful presentation. I'm actually speaking from Nachi Valley refugee camp in Uganda, and I'm feeling like the presentation is really resonating to what I'm doing, and allowed me just to really share a little bit of what I'm doing and see how and if there might be a way of collaboration with the approach of the EIE, because I really love the presentation, and it's touching my heart because it's really impacting the crisis of education and how the school and education system is really being given to the children based on their choices rather than looking at their potential, what they have inside, what they can do better, the gifts, the talents, the skills, and the passions that God was given to them. And this is something that we can really only use for them to really live the dream of their lives and access the better education they deserve. Some from a background of a refugee and living in a refugee camp as I am, I really founded an organization called New Talent for the Best Future. It also has a mission of reimagining education system by giving access to vulnerable children and orphan an education that's aligned with their potential so that they can be they can also get the opportunity to access education, though they are being passed through a lot of dramas, and their living situation and their living styles are not really giving them the opportunity to go back to school. So we are also running our activities in Nachivale in Uganda. So this presentation resonates well with what we are doing. So I'm like looking at this as an opportunity maybe to come along and come together, because we can only build this, or we can make the change that we want to see together. And I see as this a big opportunity and get to really know more about the approach that you're doing and where you're located and how are you doing it, and get to learn from you. So it's a pleasure, and yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you, Roger. Yes, likewise. We are all about collaboration because, like I said, we absolutely cannot do this alone. So, I'll share my email in the chat, and I invite you to, or anyone that would like to connect, to email me, because we are, like I said, all about collaboration, because it's key. Can't type and talk at the same time. And what you're doing, Roger, it sounds phenomenal. We would absolutely love to work to learn more. What was the name of the organization you founded again?
It's called New Talent for the Best Future.
New Talent for
Right
the
here.
Future.
Sure.
Cool. I will look into that.
So yeah. And something I would really love to add, I had a story of a young man who finished school, and then at the end of the day, he asked himself, what is school for? Because he finished the whole entire year, 12 years in school, and then he never knew anything. So he came and asked himself, what is school for? But instead, if this could be, it couldn't based on fact, but giving this person something that relates with their passion, I'm very sure that it couldn't be a wasting of time, but it could be something that could really benefit very much to the entire world of that very young person. So I'm happy, and it's my pleasure to see everyone in here.
Absolutely. Thanks for that, Roger. I agree with that. What is school for? It turns out, I guess, that school is kind of squishing creativity, curiosity, and the love of learning. Well, we could do it so much better. It's instead of teaching everyone this tiny slice of information, because we have all the information in the world available at our fingertips with these cell phones. And schools are teaching everyone this tiny slice, the same tiny slice of information, as opposed to, giving them the tools, knowledge, information they need, and then letting them pursue the things that they're interested in and that they have passion for, because that fosters love of learning and creativity and curiosity. as well as collaboration. So absolutely, the way I see it is we must rethink education. Real quick, I'd like to share something with you guys, and I don't know the statistics exactly, but I know NASA did a study, I think in the 60s, late 60s, early 70s, where they gave a NASA recruitment test to 5-year-olds, and 98% of those 5-year-olds tested as creative genius. They gave the test again at 10 years old, and I think it was 30% tested as creative genius. And again, at 12 years old, then it was like 18%. And then as adults, they tested those children again, and a dismal 2% or 1 or 2%. I think it was 2% of those children. It was 1,600 Head Start students that they tested. A dismal 2% of those 1,600 students tested as creative genius. And that, just kind of shows that we're sort of squashing the genius out of children by this standardized one size fits all factory, a nation of workers, not thinkers, like the Rockefeller education intended. So we need a nation of thinkers. Absolutely.
Actually, I appreciate this. Maybe we can have some time in box and get to really talk more about this.
Absolutely. I'd be honored to connect. And I shared my email in the chat. I accidentally sent it direct to someone the first time, but I think I got it to everyone. I'm also on LinkedIn. I didn't manage to copy my LinkedIn profile, but I invite you guys to find me on LinkedIn as well.
Exactly. Thanks.
Thank you, Roger. Thank you all so much. Julie, Tracy, everyone.
Oh, there's more. John Schindler has a question.
Go ahead, John.
Hi. I was just curious if you or your associate, as I can't, how do I,
Curran beer.
Okay, great. I didn't want to mispronounce it. If you were influenced or any of the foundational work was based on Sister Grace and the Workshop Way, the original like self-esteem based education system.
I'm not familiar with that. Sister Grace and the Workshop Way.
Yeah, it was like the first self-esteem based education system where the teacher was the one person who really didn't teach, and it was proven to raise IQs, and it was a big deal in the 70s and 80s, but I just curious. So I guess not then, right?
This is the first I've heard of it, but I can assure you I will look into that. And I love your Aurora Borealis behind you. Turns out that the northern lights were visible here in Alabama again last night, but I live in a hole and I can't see them. It's a life goal though.
That's amazing.
John, do you have any resources for that? Are they available? Like,
I'm not really sure. I did work with her, with Sister Grace in the early 80s, like 81, 82, and I haven't been in touch with her for 30 years, so I don't really know.
I'm gonna Google
I don't
it.
have. But thank you.
Thank you for sharing that, John. Sister Grace and the Workshop Way. I'll be Googling that today. There's so many incredible movements and, curriculums, stuff like that, like Richard was saying, but unfortunately, most of us appear to be working in silos, and we got to break down those silos and work together. We cannot do it alone.
Thank you so much, everyone. I want to be mindful of time. This has been a fantastic conversation, and I hope we can have many more. I'm going to put a few links in the chat. One of them, if we don't already, if you haven't already done so, I invite you to please fill out a collaboration form. I just put it in the chat, and that just helps us to better communicate with you. We have an AI assistant that can take in information about what news you'd like to hear. We can send you as much or as little information as you like, and maybe you can schedule a meeting to talk with a team member personally. I'm also going to put the link to our climate summit registration again. We have a membership program also. That's new. So I'm just going to keep plugging these links in, and I trust that Tracy will holler at me. I mean that gently, kindly. She'll holler at me if I've forgotten anything. She's pretty good with that stuff. So we also, if any of you are interested in presenting at a Friday forum like Amber has just done, I have a form to do that as well. And there's a link, and you submit the form and we can help begin scheduling. Thanks to everyone that's here today. It's been really great. Thank you. Love what everybody's doing. Is this a good place to close the meeting?
I don't think, I mean, I think it's okay to, I think it'd be nice to ask if there's anyone else that wants to speak or ask a question, if that's okay.
May I just emphasize something?
Please.
Just that two loops model video, I think that becomes something that we can anchor our conversations around. If we can build it into public thinking just through our messaging, our conversations, that we're at the stage now of establishing our community of practice based on human rights. I think that's what is a unifier. And if we can get that out in the public, get people looking at that two loops model video, discussing it, that we really start to develop the mindset that we need to take charge of the problems that we're facing.
I didn't get to attend much of this at all today because of prior commitments on other podcasts and so on. I was just with Ulf Sandstrom and communicating with Rob DeLate and a number of other people dealing with the big time changes that we need to make. I would love to be able to get them onto the platform as well as many others, and I'll communicate with Tracy about it. And is Kat Haber connected at all? No, because she runs TEDx Vail and all kinds of other things. She runs a Rotary Club for international peace, dealing with the war and the climate and so on. She's a mover and a shaker. I'll connect you with her and other people. Thank you.
Thanks, Kurt.
Thanks, Kurt.
And if anybody wants to get the recording from this meeting and all the chat comments, we send that out to our internal team at the end of every meeting, and we don't know who wants it. So if you do want to review this and have it to listen to again, just let me know. That would be great.
I would love it.
Okay.
Chat and the recording.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone. I hope to see all these faces tomorrow as well. It should be a great summit. Almost as great as today, right? Maybe even better. Thank you, everyone.
We get to do the peace salute. The peace salute is seeing the world as it is.
Yeah, thanks so much for today too.
And it's just pure love. And we get to be able to say, Zoom peace. And we throw the love out to the world. And what is it?
Peace and love.
Peace.
Wait, is this
Thanks
one
so much for today.
Tiny heart?
Shalom.
Thank you all. See you soon.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Adios to God.
Adios.